Spence Airfield in Moultrie, Georgia, a one-time training ground for World War II pilots. Nowadays, however, it's the permanent home of what's known as North America's premier farm show, the Sunbelt Expo. Today, on a special edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor, join us as we celebrate 37 years of the Expo and see why ag leaders from Georgia to Mississippi say it gets better and better every single year. All this and more starting right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Burgamy.
Georgia Farm Monitor, this is Control Tower 1. You've got sunny conditions, crowd looks good. You are clear to proceed with the show.
And with that, we welcome you to the 37th Annual Sunbelt Expo here in Moultrie, Georgia. A beautiful day, as you can see. So glad you decided to join us for another on-location edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor. I'm Ray DeLessio.
And I'm Kenny Burgamy. As Ray mentioned, this marks the 37th year for Sunbelt Expo. The first one in 1978 featured just over 400 exhibitors. Nowadays, that number is up to 1,200, showing off more than 4,000 product lines. Now, coming up on the program, we'll sit down with the man who's in charge of making it all happen. He's Executive Director Chip Blaylock. Why Chip thinks he's got the best job in all of agriculture. Also on the show, the YouTube videos. You've seen them. More than just entertaining viewers across the globe, they're also bringing a unique perspective to agriculture. The Monitor profiles the famous Peterson Brothers on what inspires them to make such incredible videos.
And speaking of incredible, how about some incredible recipe ideas? That's right, it's our monthly feature, Meals from the Field, or in this case, Meals from the Expo. All this and more starting right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Well, to say this year's Expo started off with a bang would be a gross understatement. In fact, due to severe thunderstorms and early morning tornado watches, organizers were forced to push back the official start time of opening day by 1 hour at 9:30 instead of the usual 8:30. But that didn't stop people from coming out. It's like the old saying goes, I guess, the show must go on. This, by the way, only the second time in 8 years that it rained on opening day of the Expo. The last time, 2011, when they received close to 2 inches of rain here at Spence Field. Believe it or not, though, we found one man who traveled all the way from Gainesville, Florida with his granddaughters. So you think a little rain would stop him? Not a chance.
My granddaughter, she wanted to get in this milking contest, so she did it. Here she is right here, Kayla.
And the rain didn't bother you guys, huh?
No, it feels good. It was very cool and enjoyable.
And he might have been the only one who enjoyed the rain, but more importantly, he made his granddaughters very happy. Well, one of the many highlights during day one of the Expo is the Willie B. Withers Luncheon. That's where Swisher Sweets announces their annual Southeast Farmer of the Year. Given that Georgia was the spotlight state at the Expo this year, what a story it would be if a Georgia farmer could take home the prestigious award. Damon Jones has the story.
Philip Grimes from Georgia.
Despite the rainy weather, it was all smiles inside the Mall Aircraft facility as Georgia's own Philip Grimes was named the 2014 Swisher Sweets Sunbelt Expo Southeast Farmer of the Year, beating out the best of the best from 10 different states. It's an award that caught Grimes by surprise.
There's another Philip on that team, and I thought when they said Philip, it could have been him. It's hit me. It was a very humbling experience.
That excitement also spilled over into the crowd, which consisted of a number of ag leaders around Georgia.
Here's this man that's worked all his life, and finally he's going to be recognized for doing all the right things, and you're just excited about it.
Well, the roof raised just a little bit, I think, when the announcement was made. Philip Grimes and his family are precisely that's the examples of why we get up and go to work every day. Great producers, great technical producers, but such character and integrity, and that really, is a great picture of what Georgia agriculture is all about. Families producing for the rest of the world.
Grimes, who's been farming for more than 4 decades, runs a 2,200-acre farm in Tifton that grows peanuts, cotton, snap beans, broccoli, and nationally recognized cantaloupe. It's an operation he's seen grow rapidly throughout the years.
When I married my wife, her daddy farmed. I sort of was working with him and got a little bigger, and he retired, and I sort of took over, and it got bigger and bigger from there.
Crop rotation is a big part of Grimes' management strategy as he keeps detailed records of what works and what doesn't work on the farm. While he puts in plenty of work in the fields, he is also quick to share the credit with his entire staff.
I'm passionate about my crops. I look at them every day and make decisions. I sort of live in the fields, and we work hard. I got a good workforce on the farm, dedicated to getting things done, especially when it's timing. Very important.
And that workforce at Dosia Farms includes a number of different family members, as well as his wife of nearly 40 years, Jane. It's the kind of family operation that serves as a shining example for farmers looking to get into the business.
And, you know, that family provides great leadership for younger farmers that's watching what they do. And, you know, you can't help from being proud with someone when he does everything the right way, does it in the right manner. You just can't, you're just proud that they end up winning this type of award.
With the award, Grimes will receive a $15,000 cash reward from Swisher Sweets, along with the use of a Massey Ferguson tractor of his choice for a year. While all that might be nice, it's the lifestyle that Grimes loves the most.
I'm an outdoor person, wildlife. It's just, there's nothing like it.
Reporting from Moultrie, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, Damon, great job. And from all of us here at the Georgia Farm Monitor, a big congrats to Philip Grimes. Well, whether it's crop operations or equipment, Sunbelt is the place where farmers come to see all the latest technology, gather information, and hopefully improve their bottom line. As usual, this year's expo not only featured some improved older technology, but all the brand spanking new innovations that have just been created within the past year. For example,
the big thing we've introduced is the new modems, and being able to take that technology in the cab, and the operator can send or the farmer can send an operator into the field, and he can monitor the performance of that tractor. He can look at the fuel levels, he can look at the oil pressure, and then he can take that information and make sure the tractor's running at its most efficiency. If he's in a harvester or a planting tractor, he can take that information and then he can send it back to his home office to review for records and make decisions for next year's crop and planting records and so forth.
All right, now still to come on this special edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor. Their videos may be funny and catchy, but their message about the ag industry is serious business. When we come back, we'll get behind-the-scenes look with the YouTube sensation, the Peterson Brothers.
Oh, but first, it's time for more incredible recipes with Georgia Department of Agriculture Senior Home Economist Marcia Crowley. Meals from the field with a live audience. That is next when the Georgia Farm Monitor continues from the 37th Annual Sunbelt Expo.
All right, welcome back to the Georgia Farm Monitor and to our special coverage of the 37th Annual Sunbelt Expo. As we mentioned earlier, rain the big story on day one, but that didn't dampen the spirits of these top Georgia ag officials. Commissioner Gary Black, GFB President Zippy Duval, and others cutting the ribbon on the newly constructed Spotlight building. Of course, Georgia not only the host state for the expo, but also the 2014 Spotlight State. So what better time to unveil this gorgeous mural and give attendees the chance to experience Georgia's agricultural diversity firsthand.
When they asked me about it, I said, you know, why not be a part of this? Because this is Georgia, and for us to have a Spotlight State building, we ought to take the lead as the agricultural people here in Georgia to make sure that all states that surround us in this area would have a home to come to when we spotlight their agriculture. So I think it was important for Georgia to take the lead and make that happen.
All right, from the Spotlight State Building, we move over here to the Department of Ag and Farm Bureau building. It is another edition of Meals from the Field, but this month, I should say, we are on location once again at the Sunbelt Expo here in Moultrie. Today we are talking about pecans. And we're using recipes using pecans. And before we get started, we do want to thank Packer Produce here in Moultrie. Of course, they are a Georgia Certified Farm Market member. Anybody who's got their little Certified Farm Market brochure, be sure to check it out. All kinds of great farm market ideas in there and places to go to buy your Certified Farm Market recipes and great items. Marcia, good to see you again.
To see you, Ray.
So good to see you. What are we talking about? Yeah, much better day today. It was raining out yesterday. What are we talking about here today?
Well, pecans, Georgia pecans. The first thing we're going to do is a pecan French toast, and you can do this the night before and put it in the refrigerator and just get up the next morning and bake it. So I've got in here 4 beaten eggs. I'm going to add to that a cup of milk, a third a cup of sugar, and the recipes are in front of y'all, so if I say the wrong amount, those on the sheet are right. A teaspoon of cinnamon. Beat that up. And that calls for vanilla, but if you don't have vanilla or you left it in your kitchen in Atlanta, we're substituting maple syrup.
Can't go wrong with maple syrup.
Can't go wrong with that, because I was not driving back up there to get it. All right, you mix that up pretty good, and you're going to pour it over about 12 slices of French bread, 12 or 13, and this is a 9 by 13 inch pan. Pour that over the top. At this point, you're going to cover it and put it in the refrigerator overnight. When you get up the next morning, you're going to put it in the oven. Did I miss one? Well, you can have that one.
I don't want to leave him out.
You can have that one.
He felt left out there. There you go.
All right, we're going to put it in the oven at 425 for 30 minutes. When you take it out of the oven, we're going to go ahead and do this, but you wouldn't normally do it. You're going to spread a cup of chopped Georgia pecans over the top, put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes. And when it comes out of the oven, you're going to put a little powdered sugar on top. It wasn't the same one. A little powdered sugar and maple syrup on the top, and you serve it, and it's delicious. Everybody that tried this really liked it. And the easy thing is you can do it the night before.
And what's this called?
Georgia pecan French toast.
French toast,
overnight.
Okay. So it's a breakfast dish.
It's a breakfast
Okay.
dish, yeah. Breakfast dish. All right, the next thing, let's scoot these down, is a pecan rice salad. And I've got in there already cooked 1 cup of uncooked wild rice of your choice, but you cook it according to package directions. Okay. We're going to add to that a third a cup of red onion, about a cup of dried cranberries, and a pound of chopped turkey, deli turkey, and you ask for it in just the one big slice, and they're going to look at you like big sandwiches. But that makes the best way to do it. Is you just cube it up like that. Here's the rest of it.
Yep.
Got celery.
One more.
Toasted pecans. There you go. And then we're going to whisk together the dressing, which is 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. There you go. You're learning good.
Whisk that together?
Whisk that together.
Oh, not yet.
No, go ahead. Cider vinegar.
All right. Told you I don't go.
A little bit of water. And some Dijon mustard, or Dijon style.
Grey Poupon?
What doesn't matter. Cheap stuff.
Cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you're going to whisk that all together and pour it on this salad. The vinegar getting you.
Just a little bit.
And this is really good served cold. It's very festive, very healthy.
Why do I have the urge now to make Easter eggs? Is that the vinegar?
It's a vinegar.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good there.
All right.
Good
Big
job.
hand, big hand.
Woohoo!
Big hand.
Woohoo! You didn't even spill it.
I know.
Whoops, I did. All right, and then there's a Another thing is a dry. No, there's a dry. We have a dried chip beef pecan dip, which we're not going to demonstrate, but y'all can sample that. And then there is a recipe that's on your other sheet, the appetizer sheet, which is a spiced nut recipe, and it's pecans and peanuts, and you can read the recipe, but it makes about 7 cups. It's really good to give away during the holidays, kind of spicy. It's very good.
Now, here's all the finished product for you guys if you want to take a look at that. Very strong. How many people does this serve, just about?
Probably about 4 to 6 because the slices are kind of small. You could serve fruit with that for breakfast also. And there's the rice salad.
Yeah, that's the rice salad right there. Does that look scrumptious or what? Huh? How about a big hand for Marsha, huh?
And Ray.
Marsha, thanks so much. And
Thank
folks,
you.
just a reminder, of course, all these recipes can be found by going on to gfb.org/recipes. Everything is there for you in detail. Again, folks, thank you for coming out today.
you.
Enjoy the rest of Sunbelt, and we will see you next month. Big round of applause again for Marsha. Kenny, we will send it back to you, my man.
Ray and Marsha, great stuff as always, even here at the Expo. You know, in 2012, 3 brothers from Kansas took to YouTube in hopes of spreading the word about agriculture. But they didn't just want to tell folks about ag. They wanted to do it in a unique and fun way in which people would remember and possibly take an interest. Well, they succeeded all right. Nowadays, the Peterson Brothers are an internet sensation. Known as the Peterson Farm Brothers, their parody song videos went viral on YouTube over the past 24 months. There have been over 15 million views. Yeah, I said 15 million already on their parody song, Farmer Style.
Working farmer style. Farmer style.
Something 23-year-old Greg Peterson said was meant to be an avenue to spread a positive message of agriculture.
And I was an agricultural communications major at Kansas State University, and they were always challenging us to find new ways to promote ag, in what we do. And I came up with this crazy idea to make a music video with my 2 younger brothers, Nathan and Kendall.
Leanne Wynn, Senior VP of Business Development with Ag America Lending in Lakeland, Florida, told me their company was pleased to sponsor the Petersons' performance at Sunbelt.
The Peterson Farm Brothers are definitely advocates for farming, and most of us at Ag America Lending have agricultural backgrounds. So we definitely we could feel the connection with the Peterson Farm Brothers, and they're so good at going around and being able to let people understand what they do, and that made a perfect connection with us.
And as you might imagine, the 3 young men have their devoted fans no matter where they go.
I think it's just cool because, like, a lot of people don't appreciate the ag business and they don't see what farmers actually do. And then when they put it into a video, they get to see how much work and hard effort they have to put into giving us food. Yeah. That's, like, healthy at least.
The Peterson brothers told me there is one downside to their recently found fame. Their father is now having to pick up their chores back on their cattle ranch in Kansas.
Our dad, yeah.
And
yeah, we have a hired man too. He's our dad's second cousin who comes over to the farm and kind of takes our spot when we're gone.
Now you can find the 3 brothers performing their videos on YouTube at the address on your screen.
Working farmer style.
All right, time for our final break. When we come back, meet the man responsible for keeping this well-oiled machine known as the Sunbelt Expo running. A conversation with Executive Director Chip Blaylock. That's when the Georgia Farm Monitor continues.
All right, great shot of the ATV test track here at Sunbelt Expo. Welcome back, everybody. Well, from ATVs, we switch now to UAVs, which is short for Unmanned Aerial Vehicles. And I'll tell you what, not a week goes by where you don't pick up some type of farm publication and read about them becoming more and more advanced. Love them or hate them, they are the future of agriculture.
Yeah, Ray, judging from the reaction of the people out here, they love them. In fact, they were one of the more popular attractions here at the Expo. Our Mark Wildman attended one of the demonstrations and shows us why UAV technology will be coming to a farm near you sooner rather than later.
As this rotary aircraft takes off, you might easily mistake it for a toy, but it is not. It is one of the latest advancements that might change the way farmers view their crops. Out in the fields, the Georgia Center of Innovation for Aerospace organized an event to highlight these unmanned aerial vehicles. Its director, Steve Justice, works hard to make sure Georgia takes a lead role in developing this new technology.
We've had a 5-year plan working with industry, academia, organizations, the federal government, including the FAA, to prepare the way in Georgia for this new market. We've been working with Middle Georgia State College, many companies, Georgia Tech, and today is culmination of those efforts where we're having flight demonstrations of unmanned aircraft systems to show farmers how they can use them in agribusiness.
The FAA gave permission for this event to be held. Not only were rotary vehicles launched, but a fixed-wing aircraft as well. And getting FAA approval to do this is a big step for the industry.
And this is the first time we know of that the FAA has allowed these kinds of vehicles to fly in an environment with lots of people, lots of equipment around. So that shows a real vote of confidence for what we're doing in Georgia and our universities.
Chad Dennis with Middle Georgia State College was on hand to help out with the aerial demonstrations. Middle Georgia State College works closely with the program, and as unmanned aerial systems take off, the college wants to keep up with the growing technology.
Currently, we're developing UAS academic programs. We're hoping to start offering them as early as the fall, but this spring we'll be putting together various types of certificate and possibly even degree programs. We as a college are able to better adjust to what the industry's needs are and help the FAA in their effort to determine how to safely integrate these into the national air system.
One of the private companies that is developing these aircraft is Guided Systems Technologies. This Georgia company's founder is Eric Corbin. He was on hand to answer questions from spectators on the future of this industry.
So we produce a whole family of fully automated unmanned helicopter systems, including the aircraft you see here, which has been fitted with a simple ATV spray rig for experimenting with spray applications, particular precision spot spraying of crops.
Those involved with unmanned aerial systems say agriculture and these aircraft are a perfect match.
You already have precision agriculture with tractors that can drive themselves and GPS and all these different sensors that they have on the ground. Now we're going to add them in the air. And the trick is to integrate this, make the eye in the sky part of the overall system that the farmer uses to monitor his crops and to increase his yields.
This technology is still in the very early stages of development, but as farmers and others see the potential for growing Georgia's agribusiness, it is sure to gain in popularity. Reporting from the Darrell Williams Research Farm, I'm Mark Wildman for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, Mark, great job, sir. You know, in order to put together an event like this, it takes months of planning, and yes, it takes teamwork. But within that team, there has to be a leader, the team captain. Well, here at Sunbelt, that leader is Executive Director Chip Laylock.
It's a year-round process. We have a staff of 5 here in the office and 4 on the farm crew. And basically, we spend our whole year recruiting exhibitors to come do our show, recruiting grant supporters, sponsors, and going to young farmer events, county agent meetings, farm bureau meetings, keeping the expo on our visitors' minds so when October rolls around, they will come in. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, they ask me, why are you so upbeat? Why are you so passionate about agriculture? I said, well, it's about job security. People's got to eat. So that gives people in agriculture job security because they're depending on us, whether you grow conventional, organic, we're all in this together, feeding the world. That's what we're doing year-round is networking with our constituency, whether it be visitors, whether it be exhibitors, and networking through those groups like Farm Bureau and Extension, young farmers that help us tell the news, and of course with the media also. Does a great job of helping us tell the story of the Sunbelt Expo and how we bring 1,200 exhibitors together to show the latest in agricultural technology for the farmers to come in, see that technology, see how it might apply to their operation and improve their bottom line.
All right, and call me biased, Kenny, but Chip Blaylock, one of the nicest guys on the planet,
Absolutely.
always goes above and beyond to help out the media out here. Well, unfortunately, that is going to wrap up our coverage from the 37th Annual Sunbelt Expo.
And again, a great big thanks to Chip Blaylock and all the fine staff here at the Expo. Just a reminder, be sure and check out our website as well as our Twitter and Facebook pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming and the Farm Monitor Show.
Take care, everybody. We will see you next week right here on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
So long from the Sunbelt Expo.
Have a great week, everybody.